Hi, my name is Danielle. I'm a Kazaz consultant in Tasmania. I'd just like to show you some of the basics of our EasyPress die cutting machine, which is from Kazaz, and some of the easy things that you can do with it and the basics that you need to be able to create all your projects. Okay, I just want to give you a basic overrun of our EasyPress die cutting machine. These are the pads that come with the EasyPress. All the pads are available separately, so if you damage one, you lose one, you can get them replaced easily. So we've got our embossing pad B and our rubber mat. These are used for embossing, both our single sheet embossing and our folder embossing. Then we have a cutting mat D, which is used for our thick paper dies, which means we can cut up to 400 GSM with that one. And our standard paper dies, which are just available for our 250 GSM paper. And our base pad A, which we use with all our die cutting, that's our base pad always. And we also have our X pad, which is a cutting mat that you can use when you're using other brand dies. It just goes on top instead of one of the C or D cutting mats. The EasyPress is compatible with most dies. It isn't, however, compatible with the Tim Holtz Bigs dies and the Sizzix Big Shot, the big thick dies. They're just too thick to go through our machine, but all the Sizzlitz dies and lots of the other beautiful dies and embossing folders that you can get are compatible with this machine, which makes it really good. Okay, so EasyPress is an A4 die cutting machine, obviously, and this is the front. This is our little lever. So how the lever works is there's a suction pad on the bottom and it suctions onto your work surface. At the moment it's really rocky, so I lock it into place and it's not going to move. It's suctioned on. If you have a table that is a little bit textured, it won't stick, but you still need to turn your lever and then it'll sit nice and flat, but when you're die cutting you need to hold on to your die cutting machine so that it doesn't move. Okay, at the front of our die cutting machine we have our instruction sheet. It also comes with an instruction manual as well, but this is just an easy quick reference. So this tells us for our standard paper dies, our thick dies, our double piece embossing or your folder embossings, and your single piece embossing on how to use it. One thing that it doesn't show you in the quick things is how to use our two-in-one cut and emboss dies. So I always keep one of those handy so that I know which which pads I need to use. So when you're doing your two-in-one cut and emboss, this is one of our two-in-one cut and emboss dies, which is our tag ones. So that one you can use up to 400 GSM card with, and you use the cutting pad D when you're doing the cutting part of it, and then you can do the embossing by turning it over. I'll show you that in a later video. Okay, now we have a handle for carrying, nice and easy, and it's not too heavy, nice and light to carry around, and it also has a little container in the top. In the top I always store my handle, and you can store some of the smaller dies in there. They fit in there quite easily. The bigger ones don't. And you can also store any of your extra die cuts that you've made. You can store in there as well. So how we set it all up is put it on our table, and I'm going to lock my lever down just by pressing it down so it's not going to move. I'm going to attach my handle to the end, and then these pads, the flaps open up and these plates slide out. So now you're ready to do all your cutting and embossing. So you always start with your base pad A, and then you put your dies and things on top. I always, when I'm doing anything, whether it's cutting or embossing, I put the right side of the die. So this is one of our envelope dies. You always put the printed side down, and then I always put the right side of my card. So this one doesn't have a right and a wrong side, it's the same. If you've got a textured card like this one, then I will be making sure that I put my textured side onto my die. This is because as you use your die cutting machine, you will cut into your cutting mats. You'll see that mine have been well and truly used. This one not so much. I do a lot more of my thick cutting than I do for my standard. So if you have used it a lot, you might find that some of your thicker paper will get some of the impressions from your die cutting pads. So by putting the right side down, you're not going to get any impressions on the finished product. So then you would put down your paper. This isn't quite big enough for what I need to do, but just for example. Put that on, put it into the machine and turn your handle. And it should be easy to use, it shouldn't be hard to cut, and it will creak and groan a little bit. That's just normal with it going through the paint, through the rollers. If you find it's really hard to turn, you'll need to reverse your stack and go again, and check your pad combinations before you go again. One thing that you do need to be careful of is, I'll just put this back through to show you. You turn your handle, it builds up a bit of pressure. If I let go of this handle, just go through a little bit further and you'll be able to see what I mean. If I let go of my handle, it's going to fling back and it can cause a bit of pain. If I let go, just towards the end there, the handle spins, and if you're in the way, it really hurts, trust me. So this is then cut out a die beautifully, and we can then make a nice long skinny envelope. Thanks for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like any more information on the products used, you can visit the Kazaz website at www.kazaz.com. You can contact the friendly staff at Kazaz on 1800 649 191 and they can put you in touch with a local consultant. If you'd like to contact me, you can leave a message on the YouTube video, or you can contact me at my blog www.danielskazaz.blogspot.com, and I can answer your questions, give you any information that you need. Thank you very much.